welcome to Hampton Downs in the Waikato region of the North Island. As we reach the halfway point in the championship, it's shaping up nicely. 3 races ahead and the competitors now fully dialed in. At the moment, this man, Roman Belinsky, leads the championship, and he's kind of sighing with relief because his arch rival, Christian Mansell, has disappeared back to Europe. But he's not a fool by any means, and he knows that the championship is far from over. In fact, the competition is about to get even stiffer because one of his teammates, currently in third, is now moving up to second place with Mansell out of it. And that, of course, is number 23, Liam Skeets. Fourth in the championship last year and ready to go better than that this year. So it's all on for the M2 competition, boys. But there are others. What about Smith? Tommy Smith? Well, we told you he was going back to Europe, but he's here at Hampton Downs, and there's rumours that he could be coming back for the Grand Prix. So Belinsky cannot rest on his laurels. And if Tommy Smith is a threat, what about some others coming in? Bryce Aaron from the United States, a big prodigy racing for Andretti Global. Also, one more to think about, Jacob Abel. He too is coming for the last 2 rounds and, of course, was a big player for the United States, currently in Indy Next. So Belinsky's got some real competition to come. Add a little bit of Ryder Quinn, remember him from Australia last year. Add Sebastian Manson, a new boy turning 16 next week from New Zealand. And we have a heck of a last 3 rounds of racing. Is it going to rain all weekend? Who knows? That's the beauty of motor racing. Let the games begin.
Welcome to Hampton Downs Motorsport Park. This weekend we're using the international circuit. With a total of 3 sectors around the track, one of the more technical tracks we go to through the championship, and a total of 11 turns. One of the highest action zones around the track is turn 6. Very, very bumpy, very hard to get a ride through here, as you can see with Roman Belinsky running slightly wide here.
Qualifying for race 1 would be a huge challenge. Though it wasn't raining at the start, the track had been drenched just before they went out. Conditions were tricky, and even the best were caught out. Championship leader Roman Belinsky spinning out of turn 6. A rare mistake for him, and it would lead to him finishing 14th. His teammate Nicola Lacorte at M2 was faring better, as with now drying conditions in the 15-minute session, he was able to post a 3rd best time, and that gave him a 2nd row start. Likewise, his teammate Liam Skeets was playing the long game. While he did do 9 laps, the last was his best at 1:40.895, and that awarded him another front row start. But as conditions improved during the 15-minute session, it was another M2 teammate, China's Gerard Scher, who likewise did 9 laps, but was almost half a second clear of the field to take the pole with a 1:40.447 and set up a 1-2-3 for M2 competition. Turns out it was tactics that got him the pole.
Congratulations, you've had a win already in this championship and now a pole position. How satisfying for you, Gerard?
Yeah, it's a good lap, to be honest. Really enjoy it. Yeah, I think it's 3 minutes left, and I decided to do a cool, like prepare the tires for the final push lap, and I think it's worked. So yeah, really happy about this.
Gerard, did you feel the car coming on?
Yeah, yeah. I think when I do the 2nd last lap, I feel like the tires are a bit coming off, so I did a cool down, like go all over the waters of the laps, and then yeah, just steer another lap, and it's quite good.
Congratulations, Toyota Financial Services pole position for race 1 today.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, as the drivers prepare for the serious business of race 1 at Hampton Downs, as always in the 5-week Kiwi venture, there's always room for some fun. And this week, the drivers spotted a kart track next door, and the challenge was on. Oh yes, boys will be boys.
We're at the midpoint of a busy 5 weeks on the road. So the category management said to us, look, it's really important that we take the drivers, have a bit of fun. We've brought them to the Hampton Downs hire kart track. Beautiful new machines here. Not a team manager in sight, thankfully. Have you talked up a big game before this?
No, I haven't, but my mate Roman next to me has, so I'm certainly looking to get back on him for that.
You trust that bloke, Skeets, to your right there?
He said some pretty mean things this morning, so let's see if he'll finish a race.
You may have heard the term intimidator in motor racing. Clearly, this is the look, the style you're going for today.
You know, it's the Chopper Reed gangster. I'll be watching out because I'm here to win, and I'll take anything that's necessary, mate.
You're on the road like this for 5 weeks. I know it's pretty serious competition and so on, but actually nice to have a bit of fun with the other drivers, isn't it?
Yeah, like karting like this really gives you a chance to take some time off, have fun, you know, boys being boys, you know. We can approach the weekend with a fresh mind now.
No race suit and open face helmet was the big win today, wasn't it?
I think the open face helmet is what did it, you know. When I got in that 5-row toe, just everything streamed past me and I was quick as.
It's starting to dry out there. Gerard Xi is in pole position. Let's take a look at the full grid. There for M2 competition. Alongside him, Liam Skeets, second in the championship. And it's a 1-2-3 for M2 competition as LaCourte gets his best qualifying. Patrick Woodstoff leads the Kiwi Hunt from 4th. Natoa is 5th on the wets. Probst, likewise, is on wets for M-Tech in 6th. Then it's Tommy Smith in 7th. Shin drops to 8th, having qualified 4th, but gets that penalty. Cleary in 9th. Crosby in 10th. It's in the cargo weather. Could be in for a good one. Matriano Lim happy with 11th, bowling 12th. Both these Americans going forward bit by bit for Giles and Kiwi. Sherlock and Belinsky. All eyes will be on the M2 championship leader Belinsky to see how far he can go. And at the back, it's Fakuri and Bonilla of San Antonio in Texas and Kiwi Motorsport. Still a crosswind across the front straight. No rain expected in the next few minutes, but it could all change. Out go the lights, away we go, and away goes Skeets. Skeets gets a great start. Xi has nowhere to go, and is going backwards quickly as Skeets dives into the hole shot. Natoa up the inside. Patrick Woodstoff gets through, and he gets a good start as well, but Skeets is off and running.
And massive start from Shin on the outside as well.
Yeah, Shin making several places up and looking for another place as they head down the long back straight towards turn 2. Jostling for position. Natoa already in 2nd place. Woodstoff held out on the outside and has to take avoiding action. Shin goes even further wide and gets into the gravel. Should he get on? Can he get on? Yes, he can, just about. That was touch and go, though, but he's lost out all that he gained. Look at Belinsky coming through very quickly indeed. He's already passed Crosby and Smith. Wow, Belinsky's on fire.
That's a huge start from near the back of the grid there, already halfway up the field.
Wow, that is incredible. In fact, he's now behind Patrick Woodstoff, who was 2nd just a moment ago. So what a change around this has happened already. Where's Skeets gone? Hang on a minute.
It's just on 3rd position there, but you can see the way that they're just going for the water, looking around, trying to find the water, those 2 cars in front. Skeets is the first car on slick tyres, so he just needs to manage his gap. He lets the 2 guys in front do their own thing, and they're eventually going to get tyres that are going to get so worn out that we're going to see them come back. But it is still 50-50 right now. At the moment, the right tyre is the wet tyre, but there's a lot of racing to be done. We're only on the 2nd lap, 16 to go.
Roman Belinsky goes from 14th to 6th, Andrew. What a start.
That is massive to be able to come through like that, and only the 2nd lap of the race in these conditions. It's make or break when it's like this.
Oh, a spinner there. That's the 22. That's Jet Bowling. Skeets takes the line, gets as wide as he can. A lock up from Xi. Belinsky goes wheel to wheel and tries to find a gap that isn't there, but somehow creates one. Belinsky risking everything in his championship lead, and now goes in pursuit of his arch nemesis and teammate, Skeets.
So at this stage, still the best tyre is still that wet weather tyre. Nato with a 38.2 and Belinsky with a 38.9 on that last lap. So
Belinsky
still
moves ahead of Skeets.
So tables have now turned. The better tyre is now the slick tyre.
You can see Nato taking avoiding action, trying to stay in the middle of the road. Belinsky, though, tucks himself in. He'll go right behind Nato, and as they climb up the hill, it'll be sayonara, baby, as way goes Belinsky, and Skeets will follow him through. And Woodstoff trying to hold off Xi. That's the battle for third at the moment. Belinsky trying to build as much as he can while it's perfect conditions for these slick tyres.
He may have seen the rain coming from the corner and gone, I want this race to end as fast as possible.
Look at that. Started 14th, now first. 13 places in just a brief number of laps, 9 in all. Incredible. But now they're getting into traffic, and this is surely the opportunity for you with Skeets.
So Nato's about to be lapped here. So this has put Nato completely out of it. The fact that he's about to go a lap down, it's going to be way too hard for him from here to fight this back.
Belinsky versus Skeets. Fourth in the championship this time last year, Liam Skeets. Runner-up in Japan, Belinsky. 6th in Europe in Freca and heading back there after this championship. Skeets nudges to the inside and takes the move. Does he take the lead? Belinsky goes high and wide and holds the lead. Brave move by the Polish driver to hold off the Kiwi. And here comes the weather, just on time with 3 to go. Skeets up the inside again and a nudge. Did they touch? For now, they still go on.
Safety car, safety car.
Safety car is out. Oh, this could end up with
Unfortunately, the
safety.
worst part for this for Natoa, with the safety car coming out, is he's down that lap, so he's not going to be able to make up being down this lap. So it's unfortunate. If Natoa hadn't been lapped, I would be saying right now, game on. Nato is in for this, but he won't get back around. So we're either going to end on the safety car or either
And
way.
it's red flag, and that means it's game over. Belinsky has gone from 14th to 1st, and he is the winner. No question about it. Well, the Roman Empire is building brick by brick with this man, Belinsky.
How good does this feel, though? 14th to 1st and well in front in this championship.
I can't describe it. I'm feeling amazing right now, and just thank you so much to M2. We had a really difficult quali from my side, and I hope this is my apology to the team, and I hope they accept it. But no, a great end to the day.
Magical race, well done.
Thank you very much.
So, rain or shine, pole or 14th, it doesn't seem to matter. Roman Belinsky is getting it done in style in New Zealand. Now can he do it again on the reverse top 8 race 2? Join us after this break to find out. Welcome back to Hampton Downs as the drivers and teams ready themselves for race 2. And changing weather conditions like this weekend, the key to success is grip. That means good tyres. It just happens we have some of the best, and the same as Formula One Pirelli from Italy. Greg Russ took a closer look.
Recently in the coverage, we talked about the really significant move to fossil-free fuels. The other big change for 2024 is Pirelli tyres in the Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Championship. This is Simon Poole, head of motorsport for Pirelli in the Asia-Pacific region. The change has gone well by all accounts, and the pace that we've seen from competitors has been record-breaking at just about every venue we've been to.
Yes, the tyre is quick. It's not a big design development for us for speed. We want to be safe, consistent, but the tyre works really well, and if you manage the tyre, you'll get good results.
And we talk a little bit more about that, because I think with young drivers in this series, that's another thing that they're learning, and that's important, particularly with you guys having that connection on the FIA pathway, isn't it?
Yes, this is the first step in the pathway. So from here, they learn the tyre, they learn the car, and the next step is F3, then F2, and if they've got the budgets, then they can get into F1. This is where it moves, and this category here in New Zealand's been a great feeder into these series, the upper echelons in Europe.
Has the transition been a straightforward one? How have you gone with all that?
Well, the biggest problem we've had is that we've always wanted to do it, but availability, because the demand on this tyre in Europe and around the world is so high that we haven't been able to do it. But the pressure was put on and we got permission and got the tyres, so it's been really good for us.
Finally, we're very proud of this series in this part of the world and the response that it seems to have globally. I've worked with you in rallying environments, in GT in Australia and so on. What's it like to have been a part of this now?
Oh, love working with the guys. The car and the series is really good. The young drivers that have been here in the past have gone on, like currently we've got F1 drivers that have been here. So for us, and for me, especially being a Kiwi, this is really important for me.
Welcome once again to Hampton Downs as we get ready for the second race of the weekend. Here's the grid. Cleary starts on the front row with Lacorte. Great opportunity for the man from M2, hasn't really shone yet. Michael Shin spoke to him earlier and he is confident. Tommy Smith going out with a bang, perhaps off to Bahrain. Can he get a win? She has been really good, as has Woods Top. It'd be interesting to see that battle for 5th and 6th. Then you see the winners of the first race, Skeets and Belinsky. They're alongside each other in 7th and 8th. Facuri, Matriano Lim starting 10th. That's one of his best starts. Sherlock struggling with setup, and Crosby likewise. And then Jet Bowling and Jake Benil, the two Americans alongside each other, 13th and 14th. Caden Prost's alongside Nato, and that's why Nato is back there. Lights, away we go.
Racing.
And a great start from Shin. He looks for a position. He's already up to 2nd place and goes round the outside and round Cleary to take 2nd place. But it's Lacorte of Italy who leads. Great start by the South Korean, and he's all over the Italian right now as they head down towards turn 2.
Yeah, look, Shin on the outside. He got a really good start. Got a good run on the outside. Can he go around the outside? If you can hang around there, you've then got the inside for turn 2. Not quite Cleary with a big lock up there.
Tommy Smith sent wide. He'd done a good start. Cher is up the outside, and the Chinese driver is also having a good start to this race. He's side by side with Cleary. He's got the better line on the inside now of this right-hander. But Shin holding on to 2nd place. Lacorte building on that lead as they jostle for position for 4th, 5th and 6th. Titus Sherlock makes up a couple of places as well. Didn't get the balance right for qualifying, he was telling me, for the 3rd race, and hoping to turn this one into something. Skeets in the thick of it, midfield. Likewise, Belinsky. Belinsky, though, making ground. Where's Nato, I wonder? Skeets gets a good start, and he's all over the back of the car in front of him. And she holding off Patrick Woods Top. Good battle between these two youngsters.
Belinsky, can he get back to the inside? They're going to be side by side. Skeets and Belinsky into turn 3.
Yeah, this is the championship hanging in there. And Skeets needs to get one up on Belinsky, who's had all the luck so far. And Skeets is trying everything. They are wheel to wheel, side by side. But through goes Belinsky yet again.
Yeah, Woodstock has got a bit of speed in this race. You sort of see, massive
nice
move up
mistake.
the inside.
Well, that was a double. It was a good move from Woodstock, but it was also a mistake by Cher. And he's coming back. He's trying to anyway.
Belinsky now with the fastest lap of the race. That is the FT60 lap record around the international circuit. So these guys are flying.
He looks to the inside, does Nata, and can't quite do it. Chops the nose off, does Cleary. That's good racing. But Nato has got the grip and got the speed. They're side by side as they head towards turn 2. This is Nato looking in the mirrors. Got the opportunity here. He's going to have the better line. Nato should now go to 7th and does so. Belinsky, tyres or no tyres, is all over the back end of the Chinese driver from Shenzhen. Lacorte, though, still under pressure from Shin. No change in the front. We haven't mentioned it too much. The gap's still, what, 0.8 of a second, so it's less than a second. You can see it for yourself. Cher doing a heck of a job, actually, of defensive driving, because it's really hard to drive in your mirrors, especially with the championship leader right behind him. And here he comes, side by side now to the right-hander. He's got the line coming into the next one, and he's done it. Executed perfectly by the TRS number 4.
This could be Lacorte's first race win.
Yeah.
3 laps to go. Can this be the turning point for him in his championship? It's Belinsky, all sorts of pressure on the back of Patrick Woods Toff.
Yeah, this is a great battle. Side by side on the outside, Belinsky. Woods Toff says, no, sir. You get out there. You stay out there. Let's have a look at this defensive driving from both Toff and also good work from Belinsky to hold it all together. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's left him just enough room there. Okay. So you can see Belinsky's just got a little bit wide on the dirty stuff there and ran himself out just a little.
Woodstock can only jink one time to defend, and through goes Belinsky. This is great racing from the young Pole. He really is stepping up and marching on.
Lacorte's doing a great job out in front now. He's starting to pull a little bit of a gap as well on
those
Shin.
tyres coming into play now, aren't they? Comfortable out front now. Shin accepting 2nd place. Belinsky, solid 3rd, but who's going to take 4th? She coming through and looks at no! And this could be very, very scary, and it turns out to be a big crash for the Chinese driver.
Red flag,
and it's red flagged immediately. That was a big off.
Yeah, not ideal on the inside there. Just unfortunately clipped the wheel of the car in front and rode it up over the top. So these cars are super safe. I'm sure he'll be fine in there, but you can see moving around as engineer Gerard Rooney having a chat to him.
This race has been suspended and will not recommence.
Quite right, the race has been suspended. Lecorte will take victory, but we've had so few incidents in both the racing, testing and practice, and that was a big off for Gerard. Share his family here this weekend. They will not have enjoyed to see that. And let's have another look at the move.
So Patrick Woods-Toth is in his own right there. He hasn't moved to this point. Just as Share has come across the front, he's just unfortunately clipped his wheel. He had the momentum.
He was looking more to the right to make sure he didn't go off track, but then realised it didn't go far enough over to avoid Patrick Woods-Toth. And as you say, Woods-Toth didn't move. Thumbs up. That's always good to see. Now, I'm not going to say any more than that, but we did all see for ourselves the medic turning to the marshal saying thumbs up. Well done, Nicola Lecorte of Italy. The young 16-year-old takes victory, his first here in New Zealand.
Congratulations, mate. Your first win.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good race. Yeah. I mean, the key for this race was obviously the pace, because we didn't have great side-by-side battles, so keeping a good pace for the whole race was the key for me.
Another win for M2, but more importantly, a huge confidence booster for the young Formula One Academy driver, Nicola Lecorte of Italy. Now, coming up, the feature race of the weekend, the Dorothy Smith Memorial Trophy, after this. Welcome back to Hampton Downs, now in perfect conditions for the third and final race, the Dorothy Smith Memorial Trophy. Now, one of the great characters to emerge from Australian racing is Tommy Smith. Rusty caught up with him.
Welcome. It's probably worth reminding people, this is not your first rodeo here. You came and played in this pre-COVID, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. I raced back in 2019 here in the older car, and when I came here the first time, I was quite young. I think I was like 16, so and I didn't understand why I was so slow at the time, but now I've gone overseas and I've got a lot more experience to come back, and it's been much more enjoyable.
Probably be an argument for taking time off and enjoying summer in Australia. What brought you back to play?
Yeah, well, I did that last year, and I just really wanted to get some laps in, and because you get to Bahrain and it all happens so quick, and before you know it, you're halfway through your season. So, and you can do testing and all that, which I've done, and I mean, it's great, but to do it under pressure is the tricky bit.
There's some really encouraging signs, I think a few of us thought, toward the end of last year in F3, and you're headed back for another crack this season, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going back with the same team, Van Amersfoort Racing, and I think it'll be a much better year, and now I know all the tracks and I know what to expect. I think it'll be better. It was a big jump, and so hopefully it'll be a great year.
Are the two classes, F3 and what we have here, all that far apart?
They're quite different. These are a lot slower cars, to be honest, but at the end of the day, it's still a car and it does the same thing. So yeah, it's great for practice.
Hampton Downs here was meant to be the close of the page for this year, but there's some talk you're going to join us at the Grand Prix. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I had to make the decision last night, to be honest, and it was a tough one because I finished testing in Bahrain on Tuesday, and I leave on Wednesday morning and fly all the way to Auckland and get in Thursday morning for testing. It's going to be a pretty full-on week, but I really wanted to do the Grand Prix, and I think we could do a very good job there.
Has the quality of the competition here this year perhaps surprised you? It looks tough.
Yeah, the competition is super close at the top, and if I'm not on my A game, I could be quite far back in quali, so it's been great, to be honest, and dealing with that pressure is why we're here.
Go well with FIA F3 this year. I think there'll be plenty of people in this pit lane that'll see you at Albert Park and make the most of the Grand Prix at Highlands.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you, and yeah, hopefully have a great year.
Near perfect conditions for qualifying too, and with the tyres up to temperature, it was down to work. And straight away, Caleb Natoa was setting the pace early on for Charles Motorsport and saved his best till last on his 9th lap, posting a 129.4, but third quickest. M2's Gerard Share went 10th quicker on his last lap to snatch a front row start. But again, it was his teammate and the man of the hour championship leader, Roman Bielinski, who stole a march on the entire field with a brilliant 1:29.285 to take his third pole of the season. He'll be joined on the front row by Cher, then it's Nato, Shin and Lacorte.
I was wondering whether you were going to have another bad day. You were saying about P6 in that last lap. Talk to me about that last lap with about a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, I mean, definitely way too late from my side, and I was actually a bit worried. I was very worried, but no, after the red flag, I pushed quite a lot on the outlap to gain as much temperature in the tires, and I just gave it everything on the last lap, and fair enough. My teammate Jared was like so fast, and I think I just got him by a few hundredths or something in the end, but no, well done to him. It's great to have him, and for an M2 front row.
Just briefly, Victor said you were struggling in sectors 3 and 4. Do you think you felt you got them sorted in that last bit?
I think a little bit, but honestly, that lap was kind of just giving everything and just hoping that I finish a lap. It was really tricky, but I can't thank the team enough. They gave me a great car, so big thank you to M2.
Well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
Welcome everyone, it's a beautiful afternoon here at Hampton Downs for the Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Championship here at Hampton Downs for what should be a very interesting race. Some good stories throughout here. We've reached the halfway point of the championship. How are the tyres going to work over a longer Dorothy Smith Memorial race?
It's just even more important to exaggerate what we've already seen, to be able to use that first part to really build and build. And so that's where Bielinski will wanting to get in front to be able to control that tyre life, and he'll just hold a 1 to 2 second gap.
Here's your grid then for race 3. Bielinski on pole, Nato alongside him. M2 versus Giles. Then it's Michael Shin having a good weekend. Lacorte having just won race 2. Then it's Tommy Smith, his last race for a while. Skeets needs to score well. Probst is in 7th and Crosby 8th, the 2 Kiwis. Then in 9th, it's Patrick Woods top, leading at the moment by 10 points. And Cleary alongside him. Sherlock and Bowling, the 2 Americans. Then it's Lucas Facuri of Brazil and Jake Bonilla of the USA. Landon Matriano Lim, after causing a red flag, is right at the back with work to do. Watch out for Lacorte too. He's now bristling with confidence on row 2 in the all-blue Academy Alpine car. Up go the revs, on go the lights. Out go the lights, and away we go, and Caleb Nato does get away well. It looks as though Bielinski's coming across exactly to defend. Nato may have to go the long way round, and that's what he's planning on doing. They're side by side, but Bielinski holds the line. Nicely done. Good start from Shin. He's right behind Caleb Nato. They're heading now towards the breaking point now. Nato again, jigs to the outside, now to the inside. Good work from Bielinski, locks up. He could lose out to Caleb Nato. A rare mistake from the pole, and that gives Caleb Nato the lead for a moment. Can he hold on to it round the outside? He's going to have to give it all he can, and he does so. And Bielinski loses out.
Yeah, there was a bit of a mistake there from Bielinski, and he just got held on the wrong side. So this is where Nato just needs to now get out in front and try not to push too much at this point. Just start controlling the race from this early point, because we see normally how much Bielinski can control things.
Up the inside goes Tommy Smith in the number 6, the Australian, with his tail high going past Patrick Woods top. Matriano Lim has made up a place.
Can Skeets hold up on the inside? Oh, side by side for Patrick Woods top and Tommy Smith there.
Yeah, Tommy Smith went off on that corner earlier in the weekend, so he's probably thinking wisely of it. Skeets holding off Crosby. Crosby, though's got a nice little slipstream. Does he jink out? No, into turn 2. Little lock up from Shin. Woods top defending. Smith having to take avoiding action. Skeets disposes of Crosby nicely.
So this is where that maturity is going to really come into play in this race for Nato up front. He's best to just hold that gap now, because obviously we've seen Bielinski in this situation be able to just control things. So just hold that gap for Nato. Don't burn up too much of your tyre. Save them for that last 5 laps.
Skeets looks in the mirrors and sees a mirror full of Tommy Smith, who now makes his approach.
Great move right around the outside there for Skeets on Tommy Smith.
The gap between Caleb Nato and Bielinski just under a second. Nato just putting in the fastest lap. You can see it for yourself now as he dives into the right-hander and fighting the car, just pushing us on as much as he can. And I think the idea for Caleb is to build on that lead early on and make it impossible for Belinsky to catch up. But there's always a possibility of a safety car or some sort of red flag that would stop that pace. But right now, Nato are on it, and he increases the pace, 1:29.7, another fastest lap. He is going up. He's now got it over 1.2 seconds, and that's what we call in the business controlling the race. Battle for 7th place, Smith, Probst and Crosby. And you can see the times. Smith kind of holding him up a little bit in terms of his best time, in terms of the last lap anyway. So obviously the men behind him are pushing him on now. So can Tommy hold on? Here he comes, just behind Skeets in the 6. 19 to go. Caleb Natoa, still the fastest man out there at 1:29.5. He's set, and he's maintaining that gap. It's exactly a second at the moment, and I don't think that Belinsky is in any mood to push too hard at this point. Just maintain that gap, and then let's see if you can push on in the last 5 laps or so. Would that be the plan?
Yeah, absolutely. You just got to try and maintain it as much as you can. Look at the bumps through there. You can see the way they're fighting the car through that last bump right there. There's no way around it. You just got to ride it out, and that's, you can just imagine the load going through and your elbow smashing the side of the tub through that part of the track. And that's why we're seeing drivers get in these braces, trying to get as comfortable as possible, because these cars are so physical to drive. Look at that lap time, 1:29 from Belinsky, 29.2. That'll be a new lap record. He is starting to pick up the pace.
Yeah, well, I thought he might wait, but no. Crosby's not waiting, though. That was almost a steal and a Nash at the same time, Crosby. Nice work, but he didn't quite get past Cleary. Curie just behind, Titus Sherlock just behind him.
Natoa has had that lead, controlling it, and now all of a sudden he's going to be starting to look into his mirrors, and as soon as you start using those mirrors, watching the car come towards you, you naturally start slowing up a little bit more. So this lap here looks even quicker. Belinsky is starting to catch Natoa.
Yeah, and you know, we said what an important weekend this was, given it was the halfway point for Liam Skeets. He's yet to have a pole or a win, and right now, lingering, in my opinion, down in 6. It's not where he needs to be. He needs to be further up the board. He needs to be pushing on Patrick Wood's top and LaCourte, but he's not doing that at the moment.
Yeah, and actually a very, very quick time as well by Skeets on a last lap with a 29.2.
Yeah, he's on the pace.
So he's only 5/1,000 slower than Belinsky for his fastest lap. So
I shouldn't give him a hard time then.
This is where these N2 cars really start coming in. They start stepping it up another level. They seem to be able to make that work, and between, it just looks like they don't have that pace earlier on, but there's a reason for that. The end of the race is where the checkered flag is, where the results come, so it's about just extending that and really starting to, you know, use that discipline to not push on too much too early. Natoa on that last lap was only 4/1,000ths of a second slower, but as they cross the line, 2/10ths of a second quicker for Belinsky on their last lap.
And the gap has come down and down. It's half a second now between the pairs. I don't need to tell you that, though, because you can see it for yourself, and this is that battle for first place. 29.6, 29.4, 29.8. That's what the leaders are doing at the moment, and it's Belinsky on the move, as he has been all season long. Natoa under pressure now, but he needs to hold on. How about this? 3 wide into turn 2 for Curie in a sandwich there with Bowling and Titus Sherlock. Bowling losing out. For Curie defends his position as is his right.
Yeah, Titus Sherlock there going for the 2-for-1 deal up the inside of both, making the move. Very well done.
Now, Liam Skeets has got the hurry up on. He's behind Patrick Wood's top, and this is the battle for 5th place, and Skeets needs the points. And again, Wood's top is fighting for the rookie trophy as well. So he won't be giving up. We saw that in the last race. He doesn't like to be overtaken too easily, and he'll make it hard for Skeets, but Skeets is caught right up on him now. And you can see those lap times between Smith dropping off slightly, and that's why he is just in the back of that picture. And Skeets and Toth are up the road as they head towards 2. There's Tommy just behind, but he's lost a lot of ground in 7th. Skeets again looks to the outside. It's not really a run round there unless you can really make it stick. I love watching these drone shots. You really can see the pockets of battles we've got. 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th now coming into the right-hander, and there's Skeets and Wood's top just behind.
The longer that Belinsky stays in behind Natoa here, the advantage then starts switching back again to Natoa, because if you're sitting behind like that, you start wearing those tyres out a bit more. As I've explained in the previous round, if you are in behind, you start wearing those tyres out because you're using more tyre than you are aero everywhere. So the longer that he manages to hold him out, Natoa, the more advantage goes towards him, but it is tight.
Now, let's have a look as they cross the line again. LaCourte is catching Shin, but Skeets is about to make an attempt, possibly here at turn 1, on the man in front of him, Patrick Woods top. LaCourte doing well. Here they come. And he's done it already. Skeets is through on Woods top. Oh no! Bowling's gone off. Jet Bowling was having a good race up until that moment too. He was in a really good battle, but that impact is going to be heavy.
So fastest lap of the race now also goes to Roman Belinsky, which is...
Here's another look. Yeah, he came together with
we
Fury.
have another look. Yeah, okay, Fury's just sort of running. Not much road was left on that outside, but
Fury
there's only so much he can stay out there. So Chris Pither up in the driving standards observing office. We'll be having a look at that one. But back to my point before. So fastest lap of the race is Roman Belinsky with a 29.0. That is a second quicker than what the lap record was last year, so they've dropped over a second. So that shows how good as well that Pirelli tyre as well. Taking nothing away from Belinsky, he's a very, very fast driver, and he would be setting lap records last year too. But that Pirelli tyre has set a new benchmark and has increased, lowered the lap times by a second.
Well, with 6 to go, you can see the gap for yourself. He's right there, Belinsky, and he's all over the back of Nato. One mistake is all it takes. A lock up here, a lock up there, a mistake in braking, feeling the pressure, looking in the mirrors. That's what Belinsky's playing at. Belinsky's not really looking for an overtaking position here. He's trying to force a mistake. And I think LaCourte's eyeing himself up for a possible another podium here against Shin. You can see he's right there in the draft as they head towards turn 2. LaCourte's been there the whole time. He looks to the inside there, almost makes a mistake. He's got to be more decisive than that, the 16-year-old.
Yeah, had a little bit of a look. He's just sort of trying to show his nose on Shin here and there to try force Shin into a bit of a mistake. But we've seen how good Shin is as well. He doesn't really make many mistakes. He's been so solid, and this P3 from him at the moment is proving just that too.
So another lap completed as they tick down. There are now 4 laps to go. As LaCourte lost a little time in that last lap to Shin. Maybe he upped the pace to Shin on that last lap. In fact, yes, his last lap was his best lap at 1:29.3, so he's kind of reacted. Meanwhile, back to the leaders.
So we just look at Nato through this middle. So there's a little lock-up. I'm just quite keen to see how his car is through here. It's looking really steady through this part here. On exit C, he's not sliding too much. On the entry here, it doesn't look like it's going to be understeer. A little bit of a slide through the middle.
He's fighting it there in the middle.
He is fighting it just a bit, but he doesn't look like he's under any immense pressure at this point to be able to, you know, it's not like he's hanging on by the skin of his teeth keeping this lead. So I think he's well reasonably under control here. Just that little bit more from Belinsky again. That last lap he was 0.2 of a second quicker than Natoa, which is now forcing Natoa to have to use his mirrors that little bit more. Are we going to see a lock up down into here? Is that pressure starting to come on Natoa that little bit more? So as you can see, Belinsky now started to look quite racy, showing his nose.
Oh, yes.
He is all over the back of Natoa now. 2 laps to go.
Well, if Natoa wasn't feeling like he was under pressure, he certainly is now. He is in a massive race for his first win of the season and to keep him into contention overall. But Belinsky has been sublime.
Now you can see the car at Nato is starting to move around a little in the rear a bit. He's using everything he can out of those tyres. A little bit understeer through the middle there. On the gas as early as he can.
Nato looks in the mirrors. He can see that it's got the number 4 written all over both mirrors as here comes Belinsky. They cross the line, almost identical. A little jig to the inside for Belinsky. He's not going to pull it off there, but he's got good drive, and he's going to try and make it happen at 2.
Can he make a move up the inside? He's showing his nose.
Nato are holding on for dear life here, and a little lock up from Belinsky as he had to hold off then without hitting the back of Nato. Nato are just hanging on now for this last lap.
If he can get through here cleanly, he's going to set himself up nicely. Super important. Manage the car over those bumps. Had a nice run through there. Now he's going to focus on getting the car rotated through here, getting a good exit off. The next corner is the last opportunity. If Nato manages to get it off there, the team is starting to walk around.
Into the dip of the final time. Just one big corner to go, and Nato has got this. I think he's pulled it off, you know. Only one mistake, but He's held on. He's not going to be looking in his mirrors now. It's straight for glory for J.A. Russell and Wade and the number 15 New Zealander from Martin. And he comes out of the final complex, coming towards the checkered flag. And it is a Waikato wonderful win for Natoa and Giles Motorsport. Well done, Stephen and the team.
15, car 1-5, checkered flag.
Well-deserved win there for Caleb. That is what you call redemption.
Yes.
After what happened yesterday. Didn't choose the right tyres. He put his hand up for that situation. So to turn around today with a win, all him.
Roman Belinsky, though, has got nothing to be upset about. He pushed on. He's got the points. He's doing well. Look at that. Ah, that's a nice moment. Liam Lawson, one of the first to congratulate him, and there's Kenny Smith.
And the winner of the Dorothy Smith Memorial Trophy, Caleb Natoa. I mean, the man from Martin does it. And I know you got a lot of support, or even your mates from Martin coming, giving you a hug, even Liam Lawson, who's won the trophy himself. But it's a year to the day you won the opening race at the Grand Prix here last year. So the gods were smiling on you today, mate, and well raced.
Yeah, nah, thank you. I mean, Roman did a good job putting pressure on me the whole race. I just had to keep telling myself, you know, calm down. Barry was saying, you know, just breathe, bro. That's all I had to do. Giles gave me the car, you know, to be able to do this. And thank you, everybody. It means a lot. Thanks.
Well, without doubt, one of the most popular wins of the season for the local man from Martin. And for Giles Motorsport, it also helps their quest in the team's championship. They're now just 132 points behind M2 competition in the team's chase. And for Caleb Natoa, it has pushed him right into contention now for the overall title in the Drivers' Championship. He's now third, while Roman Belinsky has a 50-point lead at the top ahead of his teammate Liam Skeets. And Woodstock continues to lead in the rookies. 6 races to go. We'll see you next time in Christchurch.